Good morning, time for breakfast. We're on Acts chapter 16. And he came to Derbe and Lystra, and see, a certain taught one was there named Timotheus, the son of a certain Yehudi woman who lived, but his father was Greek, who was well spoken of by the brothers who were at Lystra and Iconium. Shaul wished to have this one go with him, and he took him and circumcised him because of the Yehudim who were in those places, and they all knew that his father was Greek. And as they went through the cities, they delivered to them the regulations to keep, which were decided by the emissaries, the elders of Jerusalem. Then, indeed, the assemblies were strengthened in the behalf, and increased numbers every day. And having passed through Phrygia and the Galatian country, they were forbidden by the set-apart Spirit to speak the word in Asia. When they came to Mysia, they tried to go into Bithynia, but the Spirit did not allow them. And having passed by Mysia, they came down to Troas. And in the night a vision appeared to Shaul. A man of Macedonia was standing, begging him and saying, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." And when he saw the vision, immediately he sought to go to Macedonia, concluding that the Master had called us to bring the good news to them. Therefore, sailing from Troas, we ran a straight course to Samothrace, and the next day came to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is the principal city of that part of Macedonia, a colony, and we were staying in that city for some days. And on the Sabbath day, we went outside the city by a river where they used to pray, where there used to be prayer. And having sat down, we were speaking to the woman who met there. And a certain woman named Lydia, seller of purple from the city of Thyatira, worshipping Elohim, was hearing, whose heart the Master did open to pay attention to what Shaul said. And when she was immersed in her household, she judged me by believing in the Master. "Come to my house and stay," and she urged us. And it came to be as we went to prayer that a certain slave girl possessed with the spirit of Puthon did meet us, who brought her masters much profit by fortune telling. Having followed Shaul and us, she cried out, saying, "These men are the servants of the Most High Elohim, who proclaim to us the way of deliverance." And she was doing this for many days. But Shaul, greatly annoyed, turned and said to the Spirit, "I command you in the name of Yeshua Messiah to come out of her." And it came out that same hour. But when her masters saw that their anticipation of money-making was gone, they seized Shaul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace to the rulers. And having brought them to the captains, they said, "These men, being Yehudim, greatly disturbed our city, and they proclaim practices which are not right for us to receive nor to do, being Romans." And the crowd rose together against them, and the captains tore off their garments and commanded them to be beaten with rods. And having laid many blows upon them, they threw them into prison, commanding the jailer to keep them safely, who, having received such a command, put them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. And at midnight Shaul and Silas were praying and singing songs to Elohim, and the prisoners were listening to them. And suddenly a great earthquake took place, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and all the chains came loose. And the jailer, awakening from sleep and seeing the prison doors open, thinking the prisoners had fled, drew his sword and was about to kill himself. But Shaul called with a loud voice, saying, "Do not harm yourself, for we are all here." And asking for a light, he ran in and fell down trembling before Shaul and Silas. And having led them outside, he said, "Master, what do I have to do to be saved?" And they said, "Believe on the Master Yeshua Messiah, and you shall be saved, you and your household." And they spoke the word of Jehovah to him and to all who were in his house. And taking them in that hour of the night, he washed their wounds, and immediately he was immersed, he and all that were his. And having brought them into his house, he set food before them. And he rejoiced with all his household, having believed in Elohim. And when day came, the authorities sent the officers, saying, "Let these men go." And the jailer reported these words to Shaul, saying, "The captains have sent to let you go. Now then come out and go in peace." But Shaul said to them, "They have beaten us publicly, uncondemned, being Romans. They have thrown us into prison, and now do they throw us out secretly? No, indeed. Let them come themselves and bring us out." And the officers reported these words to the authorities, and they were afraid when they heard that they were Romans. And having come, they pleaded with them and brought them out and asked them to leave the city. So coming out of the prison, they went to Lydia, and seeing the brothers, they encouraged them and went forth.